In SDS2 2023, the cut layout is now part of the Save Material operation. It allows you to add a cut layout to a piece of material in the model, and if you need to modify that piece of material, you can make changes to that material and you will no longer lose the cut layout. In addition to retaining or saving the cut layout operation, we've also added a few new tools to allow you to modify that cut layout that you have added to the material. Maybe you need to delete a point, add, or move a point because you misclicked. You can now easily modify that cut layout operation instead of deleting and completely re-adding it. To start off, I'm going to select my piece of material and then go to cut layout as we normally would in the past. From here, I'm going to go through and just pick my points. So now that I have the cut layout applied to my material, maybe I want to come in here and modify that material thickness. I can change it from 10 inches to 12 inches, and in the past my cut layout would be removed and I'd be forced to re-add it, but now we have saved that operation. To be able to modify cut layouts, I need to come in and display or show my material operations. With the material operations displayed, I can now see the exact operation that's in the model, and then I can select it. If I double click, I can edit that material operation. I can modify that thickness, but I'll come back to that later on. Let's say when adding in this cut layout, I accidentally misclicked on that node. I can select that node and modify it. Here in the Layout Nodes ribbon, I can edit that node, delete the node, or move the node. I'm going to start by deleting nodes. I can click the delete on my keyboard, or I can select the delete button. When I delete this, I'm going to be prompted, do I want to delete that layout node? Here I'll just say yes, I do. When it gets rid of that one node, it will connect the points between the previous and the adjacent node. You can delete multiple nodes at the same time if you'd like by selecting multiple nodes and hitting delete on your keyboard or clicking the delete button. One thing to note is that you must have at least 3 non-collinear nodes in order to be able to delete. If you were to delete all these nodes selected, then I'm only left with the 2 nodes that are collinear. I can still try to delete this, but I'm going to get a warning that pops up saying that you must have 3 nodes remaining in order for the deletion to happen. SDS2 will prevent you from going through with this. We also have the ability to move nodes. I can select the node and then go to the Move Layout Nodes. I locate my first point and then locate the point that I want to move it to. Maybe I just want to bring that one back down, and then I can select multiple nodes at the same time that I want to move. So maybe I want to move these nodes off to the left. One thing to know about moving nodes is that we will allow you to overlap or create what I call a bow tie event, in which you would basically result in invalid or illegal cuts. We will allow this with the possible method that maybe you're going to move one node and then you're going to move another node eventually as well. So we do allow it, but you will see that when I go through with this, it's crossing an existing plane, and so I no longer have that cut operation. From here, I can just move it back down and then your cut operation applies again. Now another thing that I might want to do is maybe add in a new node. I'm just going to go ahead and re-add the point that I deleted to just show re-adding. If I click on my material operation, the contextual ribbon will show Add Layout Nodes. As you can see, as I'm hovering over these lines, it will pop up like a point. So you will want to select which line that I want to add in this new node. So I want to do it along this diagonal line. So I pick my point. If you notice I'm still in the command, I can right click to close out of this command, or if I want to add in another point. So maybe I want to add in another point to just kind of make this top longer. So I'm going to select my edge that I want to add it, and then where my new point is going to be. Now you can see that I've added in my new points. I have my new shape. In previous versions, if I needed to make any modifications to these points of that cut layout, I'd be forced to delete and re-add. With the cut layouts in the past, you've been allowed to apply a radius to those nodes while picking your points. If I forgot to put a radius in or the radius changed, I would have to remove that and re-add it. Now I can just double click on the node, and maybe I want to put 4 inches here for the radius. Now I'll go ahead and add that for another one as well. Now that I have everything added, I'm going to circle back to modifying the depth of that cut layout. So if I double click on the cut layout material operation, you will see that I can modify this depth. It's going to bring up a material cut depth. So in would be a minus depth and out would be a positive depth. If I zoom in, you'll see sort of an centroid on the cut. You can see where you're going to give basically some cursors of that information in the direction in or out. Since I surfaced to the top plane of this plate, up or the depth out really isn't going to do anything. So what I want to change is the depth in. So maybe I want to change this, since I have a 12-inch plate, I'm going to change this to 6 inches so it only goes through half. And now I can see that it modified that cut. As you're working in SDS2, you may have multiple cut layouts in the same area, and it's going to be a wise idea to have the material set just to show the material operations for the ones that you're actually working on. So when I'm done with working on this material cut layout, I'm going to go ahead and hide my material operations for this material.